want to go with either one of these?
Farsa or Eve, but there's a Valentina on the other side.
There's a Valentina, there's a Matilda as well.
Yeah, another thing that I feel like RSG could go for is the Esmeralda, since Slate has already banned away the Darrow. And you know, that the Esmeralda will do wonders against the Matilda shields as well. So I think that's something RSG could go for. But everything's so wide open. St. Lucas right now just struggling, but okay! It's gonna be a Farsa, ladies and gentlemen, coming out from the side of RSG SG.
I think they're basically not really afraid of this Valentina, right? And the thing is, with the Farsa, you also create a lot of space for babycakes, for BRAYYY if they want to go in. You basically try to zone everyone out of that area for babycakes to be able to proc the weakness points. And you know, with the Wild Charge or the Guardian's Barrier coming in from the Grok as well, now this is the ability to both play as a team in the team fight as well as still having that Fanny if they wanted to play cross map. Oh!
Two buff-reliant heroes on both sides, with Ling and Fanny face-to-face against one another. This game is definitely gonna be juicy when it comes down to invading. But Slate, let's take a look at their invasive maneuvers, right? Looking at a Valentina as well as Matilda, we can definitely say that yes, they do have a couple of damage on their sleeves, but when it comes down to defense mechanisms, not quite much. For RSG, looking at the Grok as well as Farsa, I definitely gotta say RSG do have a stronger invading tool, and they should be able to get things down and dirty against the Ling. That is if they would want to, because they need the cooperation of their EXP laner, an EXP laner that is able to work around the ball and cut lanes, and that fits it fits very well in the line of Esmeralda.
Yeah, I mean, JAYZ, you pointed it out, right? The Esmeralda countering the shields here from Matilda, and Gear locking in that Ling as well. When we've seen Gear play, you know, it takes some time for him to scale up. He needs to secure the purple bus, he needs to farm his jungle, and we can be sure that Grok's gonna try to make things as difficult for him as possible.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we are going to be looking at. Team Slate versus RSG. I gotta have to say, this is a tough take as to who's going to be the one to win this match. Because both composition, boy oh boy, their own flavors, their own understanding on how they adapt from game number 1. So as we enter the portal into Sanctum Island, which team is going to reign supreme?
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. To the land of dawn we go. This is game number 2. RSG SG at series point. They will want to inflict emotional damage against Slate, especially taking one series from them to signify that RSG SG, that grand finals last season isn't a fluke, and they're looking to repeat that again.
And of course, let's get ourselves back onto the game and look at who is playing what. When it comes down to Slate, Seilah will be rocking the Valentina, the ever so cunning and cunning and thievy, I don't know. But well, of course, Adammir will be playing as a Fredrin, ever so annoying. JPL onto the Matilda, FMM on the Panther riding Irithel, and of course, Geared, the wall hopping Ling.
Same time, RSG, Lolsie on the Grok, BRAYYY on the Fanny, babycakes on the 1-1, Roy on the Farsa, and Diablo on the Esmeralda. It's getting spicy. It's getting hot in here in the studio, Abstract.
It's getting definitely hot, I gotta have to say this. Both teams, they would want to exert their dominance into the early stages, and as you can see right here, BRAYYY is doing whatever that he has, but unfortunately, you can't get yourself out of the hands of Roy. He does have wings by wings. He puts himself right into the face of JPL pretty darn easily. And just from this, we can infer that RSG, they just want to go for an invade. And like I said, RSG, they definitely have got a better composition for invading.
Yeah, and of course, you know, with so much walls, BRAYYY, the power spike is already here, but it's going to be Lolsie next day, flickers over the wall, but Diablo is already chasing through. He does have the ultimate charging all the way up. He can actually take the fight. He will jump on top of JPL, and he also get at the same time, a bit loud low, and we're coming in for the taunt, just barely saving Slate, but Diablo walks away, stays high a little bit as he continues walking away.
Well, Diablo bought a lot of time, ensure that Lolsie is able to run away while he's hiding inside the brush for a little while longer. Well, Team Slate, they have I believe that they lost their orange buff? I'm not very sure. We gotta have to take a look onto BRAYYY, whether he have the buff or if Ling doesn't have the buff.
Another telltale sign, BRAYYY is only at level 3, and at the same time, Gear is already at level 4. That's a good sign for the side of Slate. Should be able to secure, not only just secure the buffer, right? It's just the fact that you are one level slightly ahead in terms of the EXP. Now, JPL losing his life in the early game is not
too big of a problem.
Not too big of a problem.
Position 5.
But RSG, you know, they are showing that they want to bite and they will snap it hard.
Let's take a look at the overall composition and how RSG would want to play, and maybe along the lines we'll be able to unravel a little bit more secrets around them. But unfortunately, they're not going to let me do that.
Yeah, Lolsie, JPL coming in for the Circling Eagle will be the one that secures that kill for the side of Slate. But now it is going to be a turtle fight going in. Diablo gets taunted. It is going to be Diablo once again starting the turtle for RSG once again. But Gear is around in the corner. Both of Retributions are also up. Both these two teams looking to strike. They do have the purple buff too. It's up to who has the support of which teammates first.
3 minutes and 17 seconds into the game, RSG have decided to pick themselves up onto the turtle. The Hour Turtle is what they have set their eyes on. And not to forget, Diablo and Lolsie opening up the map as much as possible. Don't think that Adammir will be able to do much in this fight, but the first turtle definitely goes over to the hand of RSG, no problem. Why? It really boils down to the composition. Torpedo in the top lane.
Using the ultimate just to get on away, will be securing the orange buff as he gets on away. At the same time, Seilah trying to do some damage and try to push away RSG, but the aggression coming up from RSG is a little bit too hard. In the meantime, Slate will take one kill up top side.
Cross map action, I gotta have to say. Torpedo up in the top lane, and let's not forget we even have BRAYYY just runs right in. Lolsie will be able to run away, no problems at all. 2-1, and that is the scoreline 4 minutes into the game. With the items popping up, we'll be able to tell a little bit more about the story, but RSG and Slate, they're not giving us that luxury.
Circling Eagle will be going in, but Seilah will be the one taking down BRAYYY, and now that's a jungler that's getting taken down by the side of RSG. You limit that Fanny, and that's good news for Slate. It buys a bit more time, just a bit more time.
Well, technically, BRAYYY is still at level 6 and Gear is level 7. The EXP deficit is not too huge, but that could be a possibility that right now, BRAYYY is telling his teammates to give him farm. Let him farm a little bit before he joins back into the battlefield. As such, from this point on, we may start to see a little bit of adaptation, a little bit of change of playstyle from RSG, where they start to play a little bit more defensive, opening up the map, but not necessarily jumping into the heat of the action.
Yeah, lots of gold energy is already set for FMM. FMM on the Aerithel is a lane bully against 1-1, slowly chipping away the defenses. Let's take a look at the players' goal. FMM currently leading in their goal because of their gold energy.
Definitely. Gotta have to say, BRAYYY have told his fellow teammate that he needs to farm. So either he's just gonna be farming the jungle all the way, or join in the battles only if they can see a slight tinge of victory.
Seilah does have the wall charge in tow at the same time. Roy heading in the pixel brush at the same time. Roy will use the Wings by Wings to fly on away. Do not line up for the side of RSG, but hold on a second. BRAYYY will jump in, Circling Eagle. JPL diving in all the way in, and now he gets caught by 3 members. JPL desperately trying to get on away, gets wall charge right in the face as Roy comes in with the feather airstrike. JPL flickers to safety, and that is a big ultimate and flicker used by Slate.
Well, unfortunately, Roy is not exactly online yet. Hold on a second. Diablo is not too out of the danger just yet. He did manage to get himself a quick run with a sprint, but unfortunately, Seilah taken down, and the rest of the RSG, they are just trying to get themselves away. Slate is not done yet, though.
Slate's not done yet. Gear trying to push down the onslaught, trying to push away RSG away. They're going to use FM to secure the turtle instead, but Gear goes all the way in deep, using the Tempest of Blades to try to push RSG away from their target. JPL will be the punching bag, the sacrificial lamb, over to RSG.
We're gonna have to say, when it comes down to picking the Mathilda onto the Fanny, there are definitely advantages and disadvantages. If you were to activate your torpedo a little bit too soon, you are gonna be sent flying together with where BRAYYY is gonna be. Sometimes you land with the BRAYYY's teammates, but sometimes BRAYYY is just far, far away. And if you happen to manage to get someone with you through guiding wind, then the better it is. You should be able to lock down BRAYYY as much as possible. But speaking of lockdowns, Slate, they don't necessarily they don't have the heroes that can really lock down BRAYYY. post the torpedo. So even when it comes down to circling eagle and someone followed him, the only one that can follow him and really lock down Bray is Adammir.
Yep, at the same time, feather airstrike will be used to zone out the reinforcement coming off of Slate. FMN tried to chase, but he's going to take so much damage. I don't think Slate will want to try to push this all the way in. Half HP is that all the way back up. You proc the heavy crossbow, that's AoE damage, and that is also AoE heal. Not say AoE heal, but like you get more heals from the damage that you output.
So understandably, we have an idea as to how RSG have gone for themselves in terms of the composition. But Slate though, Valentina, Fredrin, Mathilda, Irithel, and Ling. Ling comes popping by into the late stages once he gets his third item. Valentina pops in with great utility and damage in the early stages. Adammir, great utility and tankiness in the mid stages of the game. JPL in the early, FMM into the late. So Slate, they do have a composition that rounds out really well in the late stages, and they skill better than RSG. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they will win against RSG by a long shot.
Oh, how's Bray actually winning this? He's actually behind level and also behind items of gear. He's taking a lot of damage coming up from Bray. That is actually crazy. The battle of Shell Prodigies happening right here, but Diablo, he's actually around there. The ultimate will miss one now. Gear moves super slick. But at the same time, Slate focusing their attention elsewhere.
As the game slowly goes by, the Lord is currently just standing up tall by his pit. Slate and RSG, both teams, they're not necessarily interested in picking up any fights. They're still on stalemate, staring each other down, asserting some dominance, but it doesn't mean that they would want to go all out just yet. Because it's just not the time.
It's not the time for both these two teams. Gear desperately needs the farm. Same could be said for the side of RSG, Gear as well, right? So Slate, what are they trying to do? But Diablo always down there. Gear, Tempest of Blades will be able to jump all the way out, try to just juke it all the way all around. Gear will be able to get away to safety, but like I said, that's one big ultimate used.
That fight was a testament for RSG to understand just how much damage Slate have onto the side of Gear. And looking at all 4 blades being hit on the Diablo, and Diablo wasn't even half health down, it definitely gave Diablo a lot more confidence into just jumping into the faces of Slate. So from this point on, once Bray has gotten his power spike, which is getting himself the Malefic Roar, there could be a chance that RSG will start to play aggressive again. And Diablo, he should not be too afraid of jumping right onto the back.
Yeah, but Slate, this is RSG binding time, but Diablo, he gets caught out. Roy comes in with Tempest of Blades. Adammir will be there to try to dissuade, but he's taking too much damage. Bray tries to hit, but he tries to hunt him down, but it's going to be Roy will be burning. The Fadrin all the way down to ground. FMM dishing out damage, but Gear coming in for the assassination and the back line, and that's pandemonium for the side of the back line, for the side of RSG right now. Trading 2 for what?
What did I say? Aggression. RSG, they had an idea as to how Slate is doing in terms of the damage department.
Sizing each other up.
Really, this is really just testing, just pushing out your gloves just in front of your opponent, just to test distances. That is exactly what Diablo is doing. So he knows the level of tankiness that he is at, how far he can stretch himself,
how far he can push. He's doing it right now.
And now he's got his Oracle. He's going to be even more sustainable coming into the next few fights. RSG, they're slowly picking themselves up. But that doesn't necessarily mean that a Slate is slowing down either. They are definitely on curve, and both of these teams shows no signs of yielding.
They don't want to yield right now. The Lord is already getting contested upon RSG, but the wild charge, it knocks up 2. Slate gets one jump in the air at the same time. 2 members instantly melted by the side of RSG, FMM, and Adammir, the only ones left. Gear already in the mid lane, but Adammir knocks up Diablo right into the air. RSG will forfeit that Lord defer and pick up the prize, which is 2 members of Slate.
All 5 members of RSG is still alive, while 3 members of Slate remains in the upper quadrants of the jungle. RSG will take this opportunity to focus down onto the Lord in order to bring down the focus down the outer turrets of Slate, and they could even be able to chip down or maybe bring down the inner turrets of Slate. At this point in time, RSG is just going to be on ahead of curve by quite a bit, and by 12, 13, maybe 14 minutes in, if RSG is playing the way that they are playing right now, they should be able to hit 5,000 gold lead.
Yeah, not just that. this Lord, yes, it's a small little Lord, doesn't really have the charge.
A
but
baby Lord.
A baby Lord, but the super minions coming in will provide so much standing goal for the side of RSG. Therefore, you should expect RSG right now, look, securing more gold. Look at that. Roy already picked up the glaive, more magic penetration. You do know that that feather hair strike is going to hurt.
Feathered hair strike.
Feathered hat strike.
Feathered hat strike.
Yeah, put on your helmets at the same time. But yeah, speaking about helmets, have to wear one. He's taking too much damage from the Lord, combined with Esmeralda right now. But Slate, another fight happening. The Wild Child will miss. Adammir hiding in the brush right now. Roy at the distance, bending down the feather air strike, but will not be able to hit any targets. But then again, RSG sending the payload down the bottom lane.
Well, the Lord is going to be escorted by Esmeralda. Nothing is going to be stopping except for this gear. But unfortunately, his HP dropped down low. We kind of seem as though we're looking at a complete replay. Bray just getting himself cutthroat over to gear and doing whatever that he could in order to bring him down. But they are not exactly on a tear as we expected. But that could be a point in time where RSG can get even higher on top of the goal charts.
Yeah, and RSG Bray is already doing a lot of damage against gear, which is already at level 15. But Lolsie, the flicker, the wall charge! RSG knocked a Slate right into the air. Speaking of right into the air, Roy, feather air strike. Bray coming in for the cleanup. 3 man down for side of Slate. Mid lane turret cracking open already. And RSG, that will lead the charge. Babycakes, Diablo finding gear at the back line, but he's going to be Tempest Blade. But Babycakes, he takes it to the air! Gear jumps away back into safety, but Babycakes, they will take down the top side turret.
Ling, he flew away to a land that we don't know at all. He's not defending the base because technically speaking, he don't need to. Seilah is still there. But even if he went back into base, he could not have done anything to defend the middle lane and the top lane. And with that all being said, it is 13 minutes and 45 seconds. We are looking at a 5,000 goal lead as I expected. Yep. So RSG, they are really on the head of the curve. They are not going to be yielding themselves to Slate. And from this point in time, I wouldn't be surprised if they're just going to be conducting a melee of death.
And not only just that, RSG does have the high ground. They do have the feather airstrike. Seilah could also do the same, using the tools of death of RSG against their own. But then again, RSG has so much structure standing. Slate has nothing to defend except for that bottom lane.
One thing that I am relatively surprised is the fact that RSG did manage to make full use of that baby lord and all that came with it. They chowed everything down like a hungry toddler. They brought down
Seilah.
so many turrets in that short amount of time. But RSG, it kind of seems as though they are prepping themselves for one final fight. They're trying to look out for gear, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to be the game plan they're looking out for. But one thing's for sure, they managed to push in the top lane as much as they could in order to create space for this Lord take completely uncontested.
Uncontested at all, M-Strike. Slate cannot even touch his own purple buff. Gear right now, the lane on crutches, doesn't have a purple buff, forced to push down at the bottom side. But you are rest assured, Bray, the battle of the child prodigies, they're gonna walk all the way and look at Bray. He's hunting for gear. He knows. He's jumping around. There's no way for you to run. Bray will be the one that triumphs.
There's only so far you can run, but you can't hide. Gear showed himself in the bottom lane trying to work onto those split pushes. And of course, I would believe that Bray have been counting down the timer of his first skill to know when can he be vaulting up against the wall. As such, he found out off cooldown, I can go for this and immediately pop the heads off of this link. And because of that, our Slate, they have to fight this fight in a 4-man disadvantage.
Feather airstrike will be able to chunk down FMM. Seilah will respond with the same, but the call, it gets chunking down. RSG second the Lord. They will defeat Slate in game number 2.
In a 2-0 fashion, completely convincing. RSG, they stopped at absolutely nothing. The usurpers is not